Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to another video. This is a little bit new for me, but lately I've been super inspired by watching people's card making haul videos and seeing some of the things they've purchased and some of the new products that are on the market. So today I figured I would share some of the new things that I've purchased or that have been sent to me and how I've been using them along in my craft room. Today we kind of have a die cutting and Glimmer hot foil machine kind of theme to the products. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, now this one is a storage system. It's the assemble and store system from Spellbinders, and I needed a way to store my foil rolls. These were getting kind of out of control. So I wanted to try this, and it comes all flat with all the different pieces that you need to put it together. And the awesome part about this too is it seems like it's going to be pretty sturdy. It's not foam core, it's a lot thicker than that, which is really nice. I like that it's kind of durable. Alright, so the pieces slot together like that, and then you take these sort of rubber band things and put them right around, and they kind of pop in, and then they'll hold that together. That's pretty sturdy. All right, then with these pieces, you're gonna take both of these and kind of slot them together like this. And this is going to create the little pieces that will hold the foil rolls in place. Then these slot into here, and you can take these rubber band pieces to securely hold it in on the back. And once this is all put together, I'm going to slot this right into here on the other side. All right, then to store these, I've just put a little piece of mint tape on them to make sure that they stay nice and secure, but they're also really easy to peel off when you want to use them. And then all you need to do is just go in and put these on each one of the rails. I'm really excited about this storage. It's just perfect for the foil rolls, and I love that it holds 12 of them in a pretty confined space and makes them really usable by putting them out in your vision like this. I'm going to have to get a couple more to hold all my colors, but this is awesome. While we're on the same topic of hot foiling, I wanted to talk about my rotary trimmers and the cutting mat that I just purchased. So I just purchased this littler rotary trimmer. I really like this one, and I'll show you why to get into some of the details. And as you guys know, for larger cuts, I've been loving this Cricut trimmer. It seems to be great quality, and I love that it has this little lock on it for protection. By pressing this little button, this little lock will come out and it won't cut you because it's got that little bit of plastic there, which is super nice. Now, same thing with this one. It has that little bit of plastic with this guard, which is really nice. And then I've been using this Vantage cutting mat, which I just purchased. I like it because it's so small, so I don't need a huge cutting mat to place down on my work surface whenever I want to do a little bit of hot foiling, since there's a lot of other tools that need to be out on my desk while I'm doing it as well. So the way this works is I just pull out a little bit of foil. I would then pull out my hot foiling plate, place it down on my surface. And the reason why this little OLFA cutter comes in really great handy is because it's super tiny. So I can then go into even smaller little details like this and go around and cut this out. You can see it really smoothly cut, which is sometimes hard to do with foil and a scissors. And also we were able to get pretty close to the edge, which means there's gonna be less over foiling, which is super nice when you're trying to do your hot foil projects. So those extra foiling tools like the cutting mat and the rotary trimmer have been game changers for me when cutting hot foil. All right, next I wanted to talk about the new Spellbinders universal plate system because I've been using it already and really loving it. So what this plate system is it comes with a platform base, and then it also has a platform top included. So they've split up the thickness of what a normal Spellbinders platform would have been, but what this allows for is you to fit a lot more products like thicker embossing folders and things like that inside of your machine by removing the top and using some different types of plates in here. One thing I also like about this platform top is that it's got a little bit of a thickness to it in the center. That way, when there's a little bit of give in your machine in the center and it doesn't cut as perfectly, this is going to help kind of shim it up and make sure that you get an even impression all the way across your machine. I also like this platform because it's a little bit longer than the other one as well. You get 2 cutting plates as well with it, which I have been using and loving. And then you get a couple of other plates. One is an adapter plate that you can use kind of for embossing and other products. And then you, of course, have the rubber mat that you usually would get, and a shim if you want to kind of shim things. It's very thin and it'll help if you're struggling to cut things out. One of my favorite techniques lately has been embossing, so I've got a plethora of embossing folders to share as well. Now, Spellbinders recently just came out with some new 3D embossing folders, which is super exciting, and I've been loving the designs they've had. I also love the dimensions of these. It's quite a bit larger. I think it's 5.5 by 8. And the really awesome part about that is it means you can kind of use it for a slimline card or a normal size card, and you really get to choose where you want to put the cardstock and get the design from, which is awesome. So these are gonna give some really great deep designs in them. You've got stripes. This one is super cool, but you get these really cool kind of pillow tuft designs in there, but there are tons to choose from. So I have been loving using these. I've been using them a lot on Instagram in videos. You guys can just see there are tons of designs to choose from. So you're not going to use the platform top. This B platform top is gonna be removed. And then also, you're going to bring out your adapter plate. So you want the D adapter plate as well as the A platform base. I'm trying to say all the letters to make this as easy as possible. Then you're going to bring in your folder, and I'm going to bring in a piece of my stark white cardstock. Now, some brands, I believe Spellbinders does as well, they recommend to just kind of spray this lightly with 1 or 2 mists of water to get the best results. Then I'm going to close this on the folder. And then we'll go in with our adapter plate on top. Run that right through your die cutting machine. And check out all of that dimension you get with the 3D embossing folder. You get so much amazing dimension from it. And with this, like, you can just see all that amazing tufted detail. They really went in and got tons of detail with these folders. I'm gonna use one more of the embossing folders, and I wanted to share one of my favorite techniques recently too. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my Simon Hurley Create ink pads, starting off with some shooting star, and I'm just going to swipe these on the surface of the embossing folder. I'll blend in another color. This time I'm using some orange guppy. You can use either side of the embossing folder for different effects, and I'm just gonna go in with my colors here and add them down. Then I can go in and spray this down with some water to get the color to kind of move and react a little bit. Then I'm gonna lay my stark white cardstock down, and I'm going to press this down right on top, and you wanna make sure that once you press this down, that nothing is going to move when you do your embossing. So I'm going to bring in my Spellbinders Platinum 6 again, and then putting the adapter plate right on top. Run that through. And check out when that comes out of that folder. I love that you get this beautiful textured background, but you also get all of that amazing color in the inlaid areas there, and it turns into just this gorgeous watercolor look. My inks are water soluble, so the color is gonna clean up really easily out of these plastic folders. I told you guys I went a little crazy on embossing folders. I've been using them a ton on my Instagram, and I recently talked to Altenew, and they sent over a bunch of my favorite embossing folders, which I'm excited to share and use in a bunch of future projects. Altenew does such a great job at creating these beautiful floral looking designs. So you've got book cover engravings, which creates these beautiful floral background, spring blossoms. There's just tons of detail that they're able to capture inside of these folders. You got these Monstera leaves, Woods Rose. So I'm gonna show one of my favorite techniques that I do with this using Lunar paste. Once we get to the end of the pile, we'll choose one to do some really beautiful Lunar paste background with. You've got this connected geometric design, flowers and leaves, waffle diamonds. I love that one. So the really cool part about embossing folders is you can keep it super simple with a geometric look and put a flower on top, or you can do like one of these beautiful floral designs and keep that as kind of your focal point on your card. So it really just depends on what kind of look you're going for, but Altenew has a ton of these just amazing floral designs that can be great focal points. I love these birds, check that out. Great focal point. And I think this is the one we're using today. It's just gorgeous. It's called Gentle Butterfly. It's got all these beautiful leaves here, but then also that gorgeous butterfly right in the center. All right, we're creating a technique similar to this. Here I used the book cover engravings design. Check out that beautiful shine you get on there. And I just used Lunar paste for this whole background, and I'm gonna show how you can do it. Paper down wherever you want it to go. Here I want that butterfly to be pretty centered on the card there. Now with this one though, you want to add your platform top onto your platform base. You're going to place down your embossing folder, and then you're going to place just a normal cutting plate on top. They've made these the perfect thickness to run through a normal die cutting machine with just the regular Spellbinders plates and a plate right on top of it. And the awesome part about it is they didn't sacrifice any of the amazing texture and dimension you get. You still get all of that beautiful detail with the embossing folder. All right, so you're gonna bring in a little bit of your Lunar paste. I usually start off with the darker colors, and then I can go back and highlight with lighter colors on top afterwards. since they're opaque. You want just the tiniest amount on your finger, and then you're going to go in and kind of rub it in onto the surface. You don't want too much because you only want it to hit the top areas, and you don't want it to really fill in all of the little details. I'll wipe off my finger in between the colors on a paper towel. Then I can go in with just a little bit of Prom Queen right at the end of these wings. And if you want an even less of a color, you can go in on the lid and just use a tiny bit of the color that's inside there. All right, then to add some highlights, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Shooting Star, and then we'll just go in and bring it in from the center here. And then to kind of blend it out a little bit, I'm gonna take a dry finger and just blend it into the rest of those colors there. All right, then when it comes to leaves, I like to use Minty Fresh as my main color. I really like this one. And again, just go in on the lid. And then for the leaves, just kind of bring this color in. And it only takes, again, a little bit. That goes a long way with this. But you don't want to get too much on your finger right away, because then it's going to go into all those little details. I'm going to then go in with Psych, which is this lime green kind of color, and I'm just going to use it to, again, bring in a little bit of lighter color and kind of highlight some areas. So I like to go kind of on part of the leaves and then blend it in a little bit to that color. And you can kind of go around and choose different areas in these leaves where you want to highlight things and just bring in that lightness. And that two-tone effect on these leaves really brings things to life. Now, if you want to really get into it, sometimes I also go in and do some depth with Tropical Tango. I love Tropical Tango. It's this deeper color, and you can go in on the other side, so on the opposite side that you put that light color, and bring in a little Tropical Tango. And this is just going to kind of darken things up. It's this more jewel tone color. The paste dries super quickly because it's layered on so thin, and once it's dry, check out all of that amazing shine you get on your project. I love it, and I love how it really is brought to life on this black cardstock with all of that insane texture. So that was today's haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this different type of video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think of it and seeing all the different die cutting, hot foiling, and embossing products in today's video. I'll have everything that I shared linked down below in the description box, and those links help support me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye!